But the one point I will make is, this is a big change that I've noticed over the last sort of decade. Is we used to say the biggest assumption was that property doubles every 7 to 10 years. Okay. And effectively, that used to be the mantra. That was the mantra that I was taught. That was the mantra. And to this day, that is still correct. Okay. The difference is, whereas I used to say it was on all property, you could buy a property anywhere and it would go up. Now, I think you've got to put a massive asterisk. And really, that asterisk is, now that only happens where the best fundamentals are. Okay. And, what do I mean by the, best fundamentals? Well, I mean shops, schools, transport links, major employers, major investments. Hopefully, if you've been watching me for a while, you've heard that mantra, you've heard me say that many times. But the actual thing is we do it the other way round, because shops have the least impact. Major investment has the biggest impact. Major employment, major transport, schools and shops. That's the order that you actually do your research and the impact by. So the biggest impact is in investment. And, if you understand that, then when you choose a property, or you don't forget the property so much, because you can actually renovate a property. So you can take a crappy property and turn it into a good property. Yeah. But I think that the key to this with this is you can't change an area. So what you do is you pick the best area, and then you find the property within that area, and whether that be whatever strategy. It could be a new build HMO, it could be a student, it could be whatever, okay? It could be off plan, it could be, anything, but the area is the key determinant of those fundamentals. And so you as an investor, you can't change the fundamentals yourself, okay? And I think that's one of the key things here is you're not big enough, you're not influential enough to go into an area and say, I'm now gonna turn this crappy, crime-ridden area into, the place where, Hollywood Hills, it's just not going to happen. But what you can do is you can go to Hollywood Hills and take the worst house in the best street, renovate it and make money, or you can take an area that's getting massive amounts of investment into it, planned investment and money behind it, and you can buy an off-plan property that completes in 3 years' time, and ride that, investment up. And I think that's one of the key things. One of the things that we're really good at, and it's one of our strategies that we've worked for many, many years, is regeneration. So we talked about that major investment as being the key. You go to an area that's being regenerated, okay? And it's got to be a big enough regeneration. It's not just about it's a new building. We're talking about, substantial change in that area. And, so maybe, do you want to run through, talk through an example, mate? Ritesh?
Yeah, so it's good because moving on from the regeneration topic that Brett's talking about, that's something which really excites us, and over the last 15 odd years, that's pretty much the model that we follow. Get into an area which is a 4 or 5 out of 10, and then do your research and see that there's changes that are going to happen, which is going to turn this into a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 10 area. Because if you can pick out those areas and get into them early, from our experience, that's where you make the biggest uplift in prices, the biggest return on your investment, which is ultimately what we all want. So these are actually two great examples. They're both projects which we got involved in, back in 2010 at the early stages, Royal Arsenal and Kidbrooke Village. And they were both regeneration. I actually had clients at the time, when we were selling a bedroom unit, back in 2010 for 180, 190, who even at that point said, "Ritesh, are you sure a 1-bedroom unit in this development at 180, 190 is not overpriced?" The reason I said that is because you could find run-down second-hand properties in these areas for lower. However, research and all that kind of stuff, the changes that we knew that were going to happen, we were still stubborn to our belief that yes, this is still an investment. And a lot of the clients said, "Okay, I'm working with you guys, and you want to help me build my portfolio. You're going to help me, so let's do it." And if you look at the timelines now, up to 2018, and you can, pretty much both developments, values have doubled in price. Okay, between that. Now, what's more interesting? Okay, they've doubled in value. Why have they increased in value? And done well. Well, there's a couple of different reasons. I'm not going to take credit for the market. The market does what the market does. We don't control it. Yes, we've got to understand it and set the right strategies based on the market, but that's out of our control. What we do control, though, is picking out the regeneration areas and doing our research on what sort of change is happening in this area. We knew in both cases that Berkeley Homes were committed not to just building a block of 10 apartments or 100 or 200 apartments. They were creating a village. They were building a community in these areas. And within the developments, they were going to put schooling, commercial facilities in there, you name it. Everything that attracts population to the land was going to be built on these sites. And what that is going to do is create exponential demand.
Yeah.
Okay. Prices, the demand is going to go from there to there, and that's where prices move the quickest. It's great to actually live through some real life stories. And guys, that's just 2 examples. I can reel off 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, the examples keep coming. But these are just, for me, very good examples. If you buy property in regen areas with the right developers and hold them, what's possible to be achieved.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that, it really has, and it's been a strategy that we've been working for quite some time. And look, major investment makes a massive difference, and it doesn't guarantee you, success, but it certainly makes it a lot more likely. Okay, and we've proven that. In fact, we've proven that same model pretty much there. We've done 7 different times in London, just in London. And we've done it various, times all around the UK for, the different places we operate.